From the moment the television flickered into life that morning, ITV had a plan for you, not just for an hour or a single program, but for the entire day. Cartoons before you were fully awake, films that rolled straight into lunch, familiar faces waiting patiently for the evening, exactly where you expected them to be. You didn't need to decide anything, the schedule did that for you. This was Christmas Day on ITV in 1987. The day technically began with TV AM, though few remember it clearly. Hosted by the ever-so-slightly surreal Timmy Mallet, morning viewing on the big day existed in a half-state, breakfasts thrown together as adults poured coffee and children operated at full sugar velocity. ITV knew the assignment. Cartoons arrived early on. Mallet introduced the likes of the Care Bears, Casper, and Batman before serving up a real festive, animated treat at 9:25 a.m. in the form of Pluto's Christmas tree. This was followed by a Fat Tulip's Fat Christmas, with the ever-watchable Tony Robinson leading us on a journey with a series of tales. As a kid, you didn't really know what it all meant, but you watched anyway. At 10 a.m., we had an hour of Christmas family worship, a time when most kids were playing with the first presents to be opened. Then attention turned to the TV listings once more. At 11 a.m. came an animated special, Disney's Mickey's Christmas Carol. This felt like the true start of Christmas, the joyful presence of familiar characters, Dickens but friendly, ghosts but reassuring. And just when you thought ITV couldn't top that as far as Disney family fun goes, they aired Dumbo, an emotional ambush before noon. Eyes fully welled up for some, while the sight of pink elephants stirred others to pour the first drink. By noon, as gravy boats were reached from cupboards and frayed nerves in the cooking arena reached their zenith, ITV responded by dropping The Spy Who Loved Me straight into the schedule. This was peak Christmas Bond logic, exotic locations heavy on the action, a Lotus that could turn into a submarine, and the best opening sequence in Bond film history. Roger Moore raising an eyebrow as you raised your glass of something fizzy was a Christmas Day staple throughout the 1980s. Then, briefly, everything stopped. At 3 o'clock, ITV joined the rest of the country for the Queen's Christmas message. Chairs were adjusted. Talking ceased. Someone inevitably said, "She looks well." It lasted minutes, but it anchored the day. Post-speech, after a swirl of commercials, ITV returned to what it clearly considered its festive strength. Classic Disney feature-length films. Alice in Wonderland exploded across the screen in a zany display of color and nonsense, followed by the comforting sight of Angela Lansbury in bedknobs and broomsticks at 4:45 p.m. This was the point at which bodies began to pass out on the sofa, the Christmas turkey taking hold over tummies across the nation. As daylight disappeared and glasses were further refilled with vigor, ITV leaned into the evening's light entertainment. A Christmas edition of Blind Date delivered festive flirting and audience laughter that felt warmer than it probably was. It was silly, disposable, and exactly right. Then, at 7:30 p.m., the adults reconvened for Coronation Street. This wasn't just a normal festive episode either. It marked Hilda Ogden's farewell as the street gathered in the Rovers to see her off with speeches, gifts, and a pub full of neighbors singing her goodbye. A proper Christmas lump-in-the-throat moment that was watched by over 27 million people. This was followed at 8 p.m. by It'll Be All Right on Christmas night. Full of bloopers, offcuts, and mistakes TV personalities preferred you didn't see, the whole thing had a wholesome atmosphere that said, "Stay here, we've got you." At 9 p.m., ITV shifted gears with Inspector Morse. The room quietened. Mum and Dad focused on the TV while your gran nudged your granddad to stop snoring. Us kids were told, kindly but firmly, that it was time to put our new toys away and get into our pajamas. Oxford, murder, classical music, and a sense that Christmas was reaching its conclusion. Morse didn't rush you. He walked you towards the end of the day at his own deliberate pace. From there, the night thinned out, news returned, and a carol service too. This was all followed by a screening of Airplane 2 to take you past midnight. Easy comedic viewing for those still awake and munching on the leftovers. Eventually, our ITV signed off to late-night music, the job finder job listings, and finally, nothing at all. Christmas Day 87 on ITV wasn't flashy. It didn't need to be. It knew exactly what it was doing. It kept you company. It filled the room. And for one day, it asked nothing of you except to sit down, look up, and stay a while.